What do all these people have in common? All of them have signed the LEAP Manifesto, which we are launching today. All share the belief that it is possible for Canada to fight against climate change in a way that changes our country for the better, by delivering meaningful justice to First Nations, creating more and better jobs for the people who need them most, restoring and expanding our social safety net, and welcoming far more migrants and refugees. In short, we can and must care for one another and for the planet. That's the message of a stunning array of Canada's most prominent artists, authors, and musicians, along with an unprecedented coalition of environmental justice and labor organizations, which we're sending today as we launch the LEAP Manifesto. This initiative comes from an understanding of history that tells us that no matter who the next government is, the extent to which that government shows vision and courage in the face of these overlapping crises will depend to a very large extent on the degree to which they are facing pressure from outside the political system. And we are here to apply that pressure during the campaign and also once the new government forms. We very much hope that the LEAP Manifesto will be a grassroots tool for people across the country that they can use in town hall meetings, in discussions with the candidates, to ask them what their position is on this science-based, justice-based transition. What we are unequivocally saying with this document is that we won't leave our country's future and indeed the fate of the planet, our common home, to the politicians. No offense to previous politicians here with us today. The urgency of the overlapping crises we face, yes, climate change, but also grotesque levels of economic exclusion and racial and gender injustice, are simply too great for that. We live in a historic moment, one that demands audacity, ambition, courage, and since, unfortunately, many of our leaders are too busy watching the polls to grasp either the urgency or the incredible potential of this transformation, leadership is coming from outside electoral politics. We are already seeing signs that our various issues are coming together as we map out a vision for the next Canadian economy. We saw it with the landmark Jobs, Justice, Climate March here in Toronto on the eve of the Pan Am Games. But if Canadians are going to move beyond the relentless messaging that we have to choose between jobs and climate action, then we're going to need more than slogans. We are going to need some specifics. And this is our attempt to do that, to lay out a nuts and bolts policy agenda that ties together these seemingly disparate crises into an inspiring and coherent science-based agenda. The LEAP Manifesto is about how we get to where we are now, to where we need to go in a big hurry, and also how we pay for it. The willingness of so many of our most brilliant and respected Canadians to publicly support the LEAP speaks to the fact that we are living in a historic moment, one in which we must decisively choose a path. Rather than approaching this choice with fear, they are embracing it with hope and excitement. They are ready to leap, they are ready to lead, and we are inviting our federal leaders to follow. Today, we present you with the LEAP Manifesto.